We're here to idea everyone, to fire up your curiosity and connect you with the people and ideas that shape our world. Watch, listen, understand, connect, create. Let's move the human story forward together.
I'm Shelli Brunswick, Chief Operating Officer at Space Foundation. It's a pleasure to join you today, and thank you for joining me to talk about the next ideaXme. Now, the last time we spoke, we talked about the global space economy and what are the new opportunities that are available for you to join us. Many of you reached out and said, how do I come into the space industry? What are the opportunities? What are the next steps? So today, I'd like to share with you our workforce development roadmap and how we can move the human story forward to create more access and opportunity in not only the global space ecosystem, but universally. So what I'm going to do is bring up a few slides that I've created. I'll be doing a master class in the upcoming months on this workforce development roadmap, and I wanted to give you at ideaXme a quick peek. So you can see that the workforce development roadmap has those 5 steps: awareness, access, training, connecting, and mentoring. Let's walk through those. Now, awareness is that first step. Before somebody can become part of an organization or a community or an ecosystem like space, you have to know that it even exists. And there are a number of ways we do that. First, joining you today on this ideaXme is a great way of creating that awareness, giving interviews, writing articles, visiting universities, being on panels, moderating events. Another way is looking at the entertainment industry. Think about movies and books and music and TV shows. They also create awareness about space. One of my favorite TV shows is How the Universe Works. So once you know that space could be an opportunity for you, what's the next step? How do you gain access? So there are a number of ways to gain access into the space industry, depending on what career path you want. I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship today. There are a couple ways of gaining access into the space industry. One could be finding an incubator or accelerator program that helps you develop your technology in the space industry. But what if you're an entrepreneur, but you don't have your idea yet? Or you're an entrepreneur and you want to be in the space industry, but you don't have the space technology piece yet. There's a great place that can help you. It's the NASA Technology Transfer Office. They have thousands of patents that are waiting to be commercialized in a multitude of areas. And you could be thinking, well, do I have to develop a rocket or colonize Mars? Well, you certainly could, but there's other ways too. There are thousands of those patents that also relate to taking technology designed for space and using it here on Earth in agriculture, healthcare, energy, robotics, artificial intelligence, advanced manufacturing, and more. So the first place you can check is at NASA Tech Transfer Office. And even if you don't want to be an entrepreneur and you're just kind of interested in knowing about all the opportunities and the various areas that space is part of, that NASA Technology Transfer Office will give you some insight into multitude of career opportunities. Now, the next step could be training. You might want to come into the space industry, but you might have a mismatch in your skills. So maybe you need some retraining or reskilling or upskilling. So when I think about the workforce, I think of 2 workforces. I think of the future workforce, the K through 12, kindergarten through 12th grade. And one of the great things the Space Foundation has is we have space-inspired curriculum that's designed for the K through 12 community, where we can bring space-inspired curriculum into the day-to-day classroom, making learning fun, relevant, and engaging, but helping kids realize that space is about career paths, and they might be inspired to follow a certain career path, whether that leads into college, vocational school, fellowships, or interns. The other part of the workforce is the adult workforce. Many times I meet individuals that say, I've always wanted to be in the space industry, but when I started my career 20 or 25 years ago, that wasn't a possibility. but now I want to know how I can come into the space industry. And they've been in other industries such as oil and gas or healthcare, and they've learned great skills like sales, project management, finance, marketing, and they want to take this skill set and transition into the space industry. And there are a number of ways of doing that: volunteering, informal programs, finding organizations that you can then partner with and learn the lingo, make the connections, which leads me to the next step in the workforce development roadmap: building connections in your network. There are amazing organizations you can join. For young professionals, there's Space Generation Advisory Council. For teachers, the Space Foundation has an international teacher liaison program. The Space Foundation also has our annual space symposium that brings together the global space community, both in person as well as a virtual component. And there are other organizations. There's Women in Aerospace, Women Tech Network. And although women's in the name, they are open to men and women. And let's not forget the United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs. They have a multitude of projects that you could be interested in joining: agriculture, clean water, space law. So find those organizations that you're interested in, start connecting with others, and you'll start networking in to the space industry. Which leads me to the last step, which is really the first step, or as I call it, the foundation of the workforce development roadmap, and it's mentoring. If you find a great mentor, they can help break down the barriers into those other four steps. So think about it as mentorship is the foundation of your house, and the other four steps are the columns holding up the roof: awareness, access, training, and connecting. There are great mentoring programs out there with the United Nations, Women Tech Network, Space Generation Advisory Council. And remember, you can be a mentor too at any stage in your career. College students can mentor high school students. High school students can mentor junior high students. Early career individuals can mentor college students. So please remember, look for mentoring opportunities to find a mentor and be a mentor. And now there are three types of mentors. So you can think of the three types of mentors as the roof, the triangle roof on top of that house. So the workforce development roadmap is a house with mentoring as the foundation, awareness, access, training, connecting as the columns holding up the roof, which is the three types of mentors: mentors, coaches, and champions. So let's take entrepreneurs as an example. If you're an entrepreneur and you really need help in one area, let's say fine tuning your positioning statement, finding a mentor that has the deep acumen in that area may be just what you need. So a mentor has deep skill sets that can really help you develop in one area. Now, a coach is like finding somebody who helps you transition and become an executive leader. So for instance, many time entrepreneurs might be the founder of their company, but then at a certain point, they want to transition out of the day to day activities, transition out of the technology component, and become that CEO, executive leader that's out looking for the investors that will continue to contribute to their company. And that is looking for more of an executive coach that helps you develop the leadership component and become more of that broader leader and grow your career. So you have the mentors who can help you go deep into an area. You have the coaches who help you develop as an individual, whether it's leadership, executive, mentoring, and so on. And then you have champions. And champions are individuals that can help you position your career. So let's say, as an entrepreneur, you want to take the next step and you need a lot of seed funding for that. Well, you might be able to find a champion in an investor, an angel investor, who can help put together several other investors to make that investment in your company, to make the next leap in your technology and your development. So look for three types of mentorship: mentors, champions, and coaches. And remember, you can be all of those to other people. So remember to be a mentor as well as finding mentors. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the Workforce Development Roadmap. Again, I'll be offering some master classes to help you find that way into the specific area you want to be in the workforce in the space industry. Our first Idea Me talked about the global space industry, and our next Idea Me is going to talk about all those careers, all the new careers that have developed over the last 60 years in the space industry. So I've enjoyed being with you today, and I look forward to seeing you around the galaxy. Until then, keep aiming for the stars.
Thank you very much for being with us for this episode of the Idea Me Show. Idea Me is a global platform. Our mission is to move the human story forward by sharing knowledge of the future. You can find us on all major audio networks at www.radioideame.com, on YouTube and Vimeo. Please subscribe.